It's a person. No, it's an actual person.
Leonardo da Vinci came up with that image.
It's actually a person.
It's a person, though.
That's the Borgia
It's out of the Borgia family.
Well, I'm just saying that picture that you see of Jesus, even though it's a person, was depicted by Leonardo da Vinci. So they went with it because he's white, he's got blue eyes, he's got long blonde hair.
Okay.
You know, like the boy next door, so to speak. But that's how it came up.
But he was a evil. He was
skin, coarse hair. This is what the Quran says. He had coarse hair. He was dark skinned, and he looked like something in Arabic. I can't put it in English. But anyway, that's what it's depicted.
Right.
As because you can't be from the Middle East and have long blonde hair and blue eyes and light skin.
There you go. So there's a reason for that. You understand?
So my question to you is this, man. You see, like this, I can't even look at this, man. I'm a father of 2 kids, and I can't even look at this.
Okay,
man.
you know.
And
but it's a reality we got to face, though.
Sadly, you know, because people using this BS as a goddamn, God forgive me, as a contradiction. I mean, I'm sorry, contraception.
Right.
So my question is this: half the things you're talking about, like you know, like white America and all that, are not a mess. I agree with you.
Right.
Now, most of the Arabs in the Middle East are saying the same thing. They hate this country. They hate this government. They hate the white man and so on and so forth. So you guys are preaching exactly what I would even say my own cousins are preaching who are in the Middle East.
Okay.
All right. So why do you hate? I'm not saying hate. Why don't you
unite with?
Say even like join forces. Why would you not join forces with them?
All right, you really want the answer? A lot of we call them Ishmaelites because the Arabs, the original Arabs, are from the children of Ishmael. You understand? But a lot of so-called Ishmaelites, or what some people classify as Arabs. 1 second. Go to Genesis also. 16:4, I think it is, about the wild man. You understand? A lot of Arabs, or Ishmaelites rather, I like to say Ishmaelites, it's more biblical, were a part of the slave trade. Check your history. A lot of what you may classify as your people were responsible for the slave trade as well. They sold slaves to the so-called white man. Let me finish. Then a lot of Arabs. This is why I get mad at a lot of brothers who are into Islam, because a lot of them they see what's happening in the back of the bodegas in the hoods. You have a terminology that you call up people raising heads. You familiar with that terminology?
No, I'm not actually.
You understand? Well, it's a depiction of black people, what they look like. They're trying to say we look like raisins. You understand?
Okay, I'm going to stop you right there, man. Arabs who are saying these kind of things are going against Islam. That's number one. Number two, yeah, Muslims were involved with slave trades. But let me tell you something. It wasn't like the slave trades here. Okay, slaves there were treated with respect.
No, I didn't say that.
Wait. Yes, they were.
No, I didn't. I'm not.
Slaves in the Middle East, okay, were prisoners of war. Most of them were prisoners of war, and they were only slaves for several years, and then they were let go. They were treated like humans. They were fed like humans, and they were bedded like humans. Now, unlike here, of course. Now, unfortunately, the whole slave thing was a common business. Okay.
But my question to you is, were not Arabs involved in that business of the slaves that were brought to America?
No, they weren't.
Oh, come on. You heard of the Zanzibar slave trade?
No, they weren't.
Come on. Are you kidding me? I got pictures and books.
What, the Portuguese started it. Danish started. Are you kidding
I'm not saying they start. I'm not saying.
No, but the Arabs weren't even involved in it. Arabs weren't even allowed in this country. Are you serious?
Sir,
come on, dude. No, man.
Sir, relax. That's just reason. Relax. Let's relax. Let's relax.
Relax, man. That's the question, right? Now, okay, I'm gonna ask a question. How does the Arab took over Palestine?
We never even took over the Palestine.
Yes, they did.
No. We never took over.
Yes, they did.
We never took over. We just used it as a habitat. Okay, we grew families there.
You ever heard of Abu Qur? When Muhammad died, right? Okay, let's go back to Saudi Arabia. When Muhammad took over Saudi Arabia from the Israelite was in Saudi Arabia first, right? The black, these people was the one that was in Saudi Arabia. The 10 tribes, the 3 tribes, Judah, Benjamin, Levi, okay? Now, they was in Saudi Arabia during the time of Jeremiah the prophets. You understand? Now, when Muhammad came, Muhammad murdered millions of Israelites and forced them to convert into Islam. No, hold on, sir. Sir, that's not true. Come on, sir.
Come on.
Listen, man, listen.
No one was
I'll let you speak, right? I'll let you speak now. The Muslim, Muhammad came and murdered millions of Israelites and converted them to Islam. Those that refused to convert to Islam, a majority fled up into Spain, okay? Now, those that some that converted to Islam also went up to Spain. They were known as the Moorish, okay? They ruled Spain from 711, okay? That's why when it says Islam ruled Spain from 711 to 1453, there were black Jews that converted to Islam, okay? Now, when Muhammad, those that refused to convert into Islam, they were murdered by Muhammad, right? When you read the Quran tells you you're not supposed to kill, right? Now, okay, now, did Muhammad kill millions of Jews that was in Saudi Arabia?
War?
Yes, it is. Because they refused to convert into Islam,
so
right?
There was a war, though.
Now, there was no war. That's not
true.
It
was during a war.
What history book tell you about war? There was no war.
Listen, you're acting like Muhammad went into
sir,
these tents
listen.
people.
No, not only that. Those women, how many wives did Muhammad have? Muhammad had more than 4 wives. According to the Quran, you're only allowed to have 4 wives. All those wives that Muhammad have were men that died for Islam. He took their wife from them.
No.
Sir, listen. You know what? You're not doing your homework, man. Come on.
I know, man.
You're not doing your homework.
I
can tell you something.
No, you're telling me
you're
about
not doing your
Islam,
homework.
though.
You know why I say you're not doing your homework? Because I could go into the damn Quran, show you history.
Show me where he stole his wives.
Because first of all, let's be real. You want to be tactic?
He took his
The Quran
wives.
was not written by Muhammad. How is that?
He took what?
The Quran was not written by Muhammad. You know who wrote the Quran? The Quran was written by the damn Vatican.
Roman Catholic Church.
The Vaticans?
Yes.
The Vatican wrote the Quran. He was not Muhammad.
The Vatican wrote the Quran?
Yes.
Yeah.
You got phone?
The Pope
you got cell phone. Go on the cell phone. Who wrote the Quran? You were not Muhammad. Because
Catholicism
Muhammad
was growing in power, but would not tolerate opposition. Somehow the Vatican had to create a weapon to eliminate both the Jews and the true Christian believers who refused to accept Roman Catholicism. Looking to North Africa, they saw the multitudes of Arabs as a source of manpower to do their dirty work. Some Arabs had become Roman Catholic and could be used in reporting information to leaders in Rome. Others were used in an underground spy network to carry out Rome's master plan to control the great multitudes of Arabs who rejected Catholicism. When St. Augustine appeared on the scene, he knew what was going on. His monastery served as bases to seek out and destroy Bible manuscripts owned by the true Christians. The Vatican wanted to create a Messiah for the Arabs, someone they could raise up as a great leader, a man with charisma whom they could train, and eventually unite all the non-Catholic Arabs behind him, creating a mighty army that would ultimately capture Jerusalem for the Pope. In the Vatican briefing, Cardinal B told this story. A wealthy Arabian lady who was a faithful follower of the Pope played a tremendous part in this drama. She was a widow named Kajia. She gave her wealth to the church and retired to a convent, but was given an assignment. She was to find a brilliant young man who could be used by the Vatican to create a new religion and become the Messiah for the children of Ishmael. Kajia had a cousin named Oraqua, who was also a very faithful Roman Catholic, and the Vatican placed him in a critical role as Muhammad's advisor. He had tremendous influence on Muhammad. Teachers were sent to young Muhammad, and he had intensive training. Muhammad studied the works of St. Augustine, which prepared him for his great calling. The Vatican had Catholic Arabs across North Africa spread the story of a great one who was about to rise up among the people and be the chosen one of their God. While Muhammad was being prepared, he was told that his enemies were the Jews and that the only true Christians were Roman Catholic. He was taught that others calling themselves Christians were actually wicked impostors and should be destroyed. Many Muslims believe this. Muhammad began receiving divine revelations, and his wife's Catholic cousin, Waraqah, helped interpret them. From this came the Quran. In the 5th year of Muhammad's mission, persecution came against his followers because they refused to worship the idols in the Kaaba. Muhammad instructed some of them to flee to Abyssinia or Negus. The Roman Catholic king accepted them because Muhammad's views on the Virgin Mary were so close to Roman Catholic doctrine. These Muslims received protection from Catholic kings because of Muhammad's revelations. Muhammad later conquered Mecca, and the Kaaba was cleared of idols. History proves that before Islam came into existence, the Sabians in Arabia worshipped the moon god who was married to the sun god. They gave birth to 3 goddesses who were worshipped throughout the Arab world as daughters of Allah. An idol excavated at Hazor in Palestine in 1950s shows Allah sitting on a throne with the crescent moon on his chest. Muhammad claimed he had a vision from Allah and was told, "You are the messenger of Allah." This began his career as a prophet, and he received many messages.
There was a black woman that later on taught Muhammad to read and write. Because when Muhammad's wife was Muslim, was a Catholic. Do you know that? Muhammad's wife was a Catholic.
Khadija was a Catholic.
Muslim.
Khadija was a Catholic.
Who got a cell phone in them? Get a cell phone.
Go get your cell phone. Here's a picture.
Yeah, go ahead now.
Here's a picture of what's called a Zanzibar slave trade. And you have Muslims, let me just finish. You have Muslims who captured black slaves and sold them to Europeans during the Zanzibar slave trade. Google it. And Islam.
But the Muslims, wait, hold.
They didn't hold. Let me finish. I'm going to let you come in. They didn't hold them for 7 years and let them go. It's a known. That's basic history. It's a known fact that the Arabs sold blacks.
Blacks sold blacks. What else? Okay.
Africans sold black. Let me finish.
Africans are black.
Let me finish. Africans sold black Jews. Look up here. Africans sold black Jews to the Europeans, as well as so-called Arabs sold blacks to the Europeans as well. All nations had a hand in selling the so-called black man in slavery. And furthermore, what he said is true. Look it up. All religions stem from the Roman Catholic Church. It was all a plot. Look it up. Go on your phone and look it up.
Okay. All religions. So that you're saying the Jews stem from a Roman Catholic religion.